Good evening, dear mates and dear tutor. Today I'm going to share with you my final task of the course Material Design for Virtual Environments. My name is Cristian Camilo Murcia, and my code number is 1083896656. The year 2016. I belong to the group 13. Okay, the topic that I chose for this task is simple present. Where simple present tense. It's one of the most common tense in English. It has several uses such as the following ones. It's useful to express habits and routines, general facts, repeated actions and situations, emotions and permanent wishes. It is also used to give instruction or indications, for example, related to some topics, to talk about scheduled events, present or futures, to refer to the future behind some conjunctions such as after, when, before, as soon as, until, and others like these ones. Okay, so let's look some examples. Here we have, for example, he drinks tea at breakfast. Habits and routines means that this sentence is for habits and routines, right? So he drinks tea at breakfast. So here we have a picture, and we can say that he drinks tea at breakfast, for example. In this part, we can perceive that habits and routines are activities that we usually do. So we can suppose that this character drinks tea, for example, every morning or on weekends or weekdays or things like that, right? The other example is, for example, we catch the bus every morning. So in this part, we can see how people, for example, use these kind of expressions in order to say what they do in the week. For example, on Monday, I catch the bus at 8 a.m. On Tuesday, I catch the bus at 9 a.m. and things like that. So there's some activities that you usually do in your week or in your daily routine. We also use it in order to express general facts. For example, the weather freezes at 0 degrees. Here we have, for example, a picture allusive to this, when you can see, for example, an ice cube that is rich because the weather freezes at 0 degrees. So this is a general fact that usually happen, and this is a way of expressing such facts, right? For example, that the water boils at 100 degrees as well, for example, or things like that. All these facts are usually true, right? So this is other of the use of the simple present tense. Other example is open the packet and pour the contents into hot water. For example, this is instruction, right? So this is other use of this tense, right? Finally, we have another example. His mother arrives tomorrow. This is a scheduled event. So, for example, you are expecting to receive a friend or people. You are not going to say, they will come tomorrow. You can say, they come tomorrow, because it's a scheduled event, right? Okay, let's continue. Here we have the grammar rules. Okay, this part is the presentation part, right? All these slides is the presentation parts in which you are going to show to your students the topic. In this case, I have prepared this video, but you can use some other resources, right? So, for example, you have here the slides in which you are going to show the structures and the use of simple present tense. So here we have the grammar rules, verb conjugations, and spelling. We form the present tense using the base form of the infinitive without the to. Yeah, its general structure for positive sentence is subject plus the verb in an infinitive way plus complement. It's very general, it's very simple. In general, in the third person, we add s in the third person, yeah? So, for example, we have a little chart in which you can see the subject here, the verb, the rest of the sentence. Here we can see the first person and the second person, and here we can see the third person. So it's different because in the third person, as you can see here, you have to add s, yeah? Here s and s at the end of the verb. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here is a picture, for example, of an activity that we do every day. We wake up. So, for example, I wake up every morning at 8 a.m. or things like that. Okay, here we have other examples I'm going to show you. Well, the spelling for the verb in the third person differs depending on the ending of that verb. For example, in this chart, for verbs that end in O, CH, SH, SS, X, or Z, we add ES in the third person. Let's look some example. Go, goes, catch, catches, wash, washes, kiss, kisses, fix, fixes, and buzz, buzzes. Right? So you have to take in mind these kind of rules in order to apply in the best way the simple present tense. Here we have for verbs that end the consonant plus y, we have to remove the y letter and have to add IES. So for example, marry, so marries, study, studies, carry, carries, and worry, worries. Let's look at the next rule. For verbs that end in a vowel plus y, we just add s. For example, play, plays, enjoy, enjoys, say, says. So here you can see that y is after the letter a, that is a vowel. So you have to just add the letter s. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here we have the negative and interrogative sentences. The negative sentences and interrogative have a particular structure, and it appears something important. Please be careful. Here is the structure about negative. So in negative, you have the subject plus do, does, plus not, plus the verb in infinitive way, plus complement. Okay, in this part it's very important to identify these two words, the word do and the word does. If you look in your dictionary the word do, you are going to find the meaning like the verb hacer in Spanish, but in this case it doesn't have a particular traduction or translation, because in this case it is used as an auxiliary verb, right? As an auxiliary verb. So here you have do and does. This do is used, as you can see here, with the first and second person, do, don't in a negative way, and he, she, it, that are the third person, use does, and in the case of negative, doesn't. So we're going to look some examples of the negative way. Okay, this is a contraction, so this means do not, right? Do not. So an easy way to use it is don't. Don't. You can join the two words in order to make one, and you can say don't. Okay, here the same happens. So you have does and does not. You can say doesn't, right? Remember, this one is used with first and second person, and this one is used in third person. So here we have some examples. You don't speak Arabic. John doesn't speak Italian. We don't have time for a rest. It doesn't move. They don't want to go to the party. She doesn't like fish. And here we have interrogative sentences. In this part you can notice that the structure changed a little, but it's not too big the change, so you have to be careful. When you are going to ask or make questions in a simple present tense, you have to write or to put the auxiliary verb in the first part before to the subject, right? as you can see here. Then you are going to put the verb in an infinitive way and the complement. So, for example, do you need a dictionary? Does Mary need a dictionary? Do we have a meeting now? Does it rain a lot in winter? Do they want to go to the party? Does he like pizza? Okay, that's very important to take in mind. Now we're to continue. Okay, here we have a way to say short answers. So when you are asking in English in simple present tense, you usually can answer questions in a shortly way. So for example, do you like chocolate? If you are going to answer in an affirmative way, you can say the yes. Then you can say the correspondent subject, and then you can use the auxiliary. So for example, yes I do. And if you are going to answer in a negative way, it's similar, but you have to use the auxiliary in a negative way. So you can say no I don't. So here we have some examples. For example, do I need a pencil? Yes you do. Why did I use the verb you? Because I'm asking, do I need a pencil? So I'm not going to ask to answer myself, right? So I'm going to ask to other one, yeah. And here you can see the change of the subject. This is a particular case. And in a negative way, you say no, you don't, or no, we don't. Okay, here we have other examples. Yeah, do you both like chocolate? Yes, we do. No, we don't. Do they like chocolate? Yes, they do. No, they don't. Does he like chocolate? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Does she like chocolate? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. And finally, does it have four wheels? Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. With each one of the pronouns. Okay, now it's time for practicing. Okay, in this part, in the lesson, you are going, or me, or I am going to ask for my students to develop these sentences in an affirmative way, in a negative way, in an interrogative way, with short answers in a positive way, and with short answers in a negative way, in order to make a very thoroughful practice in the class. So this part, I think it's not necessary to read each sentence, but the structure of this part is it. So I think for this part I will dispose more or less 30 minutes in order to practice with my students. Here is the sentence. They have to write here the verbs in a correct way. Then they have to write in a negative way. Then they have to use the auxiliaries in order to do in the best way this activity. Finally, we have the time for production. So students are expected to do some sentence in present simple tense using some verbs given by tutor, as you can see here, another that they find necessary for the task. The sentences are related to activities they usually do. Then they are going to construct a daily routine. Okay, so we have some examples of the verbs that we can give them. For example, wake up, have lunch, go, have breakfast, study, sleep, swim, dance, play, walk, watch. So we can also include, for example, look, or I don't know, maybe drive, or take, or other verbs like that. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Here are the references. So thanks for watching. I hope you can take advantage of this slide, and God bless you. Bye bye.